What's going on? Thanks for checking in. Today we're talking building torque or rotational power so you can start feeding the trees more often. Make sure you stay tuned. Check this one out. All right, don't get me wrong here. I'm not claiming to be, some hitting guru, but what I am an expert in is creating torque. And I have a master's degree on how to do that from a biomechanical standpoint. So when we dive in here on creating torque, don't look at the big guys like Aaron Judge, right? It's very easy for those guys to create torque. You got to look at the smaller players that can still hit balls with 100+ exit velo, like an Altuve, because those guys are very limited from a leverage standpoint due to shorter limbs. So they have to be very biomechanically efficient on how they rotate. So those are the type of guys you got to look at, the under 6 foot, because they're doing it the right way. Look at my guy Charlie Welch here. This ball was hit 450 feet at 111 miles an hour, and he's under 6 foot, 5'9" generously. Look at a guy like Dylan Cruz. This ball was 115 miles an hour to dead center, and he's barely 5'9". Heck, look at our girl Sierra here. She has the most grand slams of all time at 130 pounds, and this was her record setting. Look how she goes down and gets this ball. Look at what all these swings have in common with the gas leg and the brake leg. So that rear leg and that front leg. That back knee drives down as that front knee pulls forward. This relationship between these two legs is everything when you're creating torque. Listen, I know pop culture right now with the hitting gurus is teaching that scissor move, but that is a very dangerous thing to teach because the easiest way to do that is to pop up out of your legs and slide that rear foot back. The elite level players do not do that. The scissor happens from sinking down and that gas leg prying against the front brake leg. So if you're sinking correctly, and to create space, sometimes that scissor move is going to be a byproduct of using the ground correctly. So what I'm saying is don't just go practice the scissor move, right? Practice the real gas leg to brake leg relationship. In turn, it's going to lead to a proper scissor move in game when you got to create space to get to the inner half on a ball. So a way that we can control and to make sure this gas leg to brake leg relationship is strong is training everything bottom up. Sprinters have been doing this for years to work on their acceleration. They'll do drills from the ground, ground starts, and progressively increase to standing sport-specific starts. We can do the same exact thing when we train rotational power with the swing, right? With our med ball throws, cable chops, and jammer arms. This is something I incorporate into my program here, and I see a direct result, a direct transfer to their swing in game. So right now, I'm gonna show you 3 complexes bottom up that I do with my ball players in here. This first one's gonna be a bottom up med ball series. It's 3 exercises in one. So I have Juice demonstrating the exercises today. What we got first is a half kneeling med ball throw. Juice is a left-handed batter, so the left knee is going to be down on a pad, and then the right leg is going to be opened up like you land in the swing. Doesn't matter if you shot put this ball or underhand scoop toss it, but the idea we need to happen is throughout the throw, this back knee is going to pivot on the pad, right, while this front leg straightens out. So he's going to end in this position to create that good torque. So we're trying to simulate and start in the proper position with that back knee down as the front leg locks out. We can call this the Beltray swing. Sometimes when he gets forward on an off-speed pitch, he sinks and throws that back knee and he actually ends up on the ground, when he drives through the baseball. Go ahead and hit it. Good. See that position he ends up in? Good. Front knee locks out. Good. Next exercise in the progression is we're working our way up. So we're going half kneeling now with that drive leg up. So Juice, left-handed batter, that left leg's gonna be up. He's gonna load into that backside, do his coil, whatever it may be. And then the first move is throwing that back knee down hard and then pulling with the front leg to generate that torque. Snap it harder. Nice. A lot of times guys do this wrong. They won't sink into that backside and they'll drift forward to the throw. We don't want to do that. We want to stay back and throw that back knee down. So go ahead into it real quick, Juice. If I have a stick, his head will not pass this, right? So go ahead and hit one. Good. Do it again. See how he stays back on that backside? He's not relying on momentum to swing. He's not relying on a drift to swing. He's relying on torque turning behind the baseball. I say it all the time, right? Wheels on a big truck. You know, you get your truck lifted, throw, 37-inch tires on it. It takes a lot of energy to rotate those tires. That's because it's further away from the center of mass. Same thing with the swing. If you're leaking forward, getting long, drifting linearly, you're not going to rotate as fast. You want to keep everything nice, short, and compact, close to your center of mass. It's called centripetal force. Last exercise in the complex, we're going standing, so sport specific. You can go just like a swing here, toe tap, heel lift, leg kick, whatever it may be. The idea is that the drills that we previously did, the kneeling, the half kneeling, subconsciously transfers to a swing-like med ball throw. So let's see if Juice can hit it. Good. Same idea, right? You don't want to rely on momentum, so I should be able to hold this stick high, and Juice is going to turn behind it. Head's going to stay in the same spot. One more time. Nice. Now what we're going to do is take what we learned in that med ball series in the weight room and take it to the skill side of things using the swing. So these are a couple hitting drills using that same method. We're going to do the same thing, right? Back knee down, front knee's going to lock out on this first drill here. Go ahead. Nope. Snap that shit. There you go. Nice. You have to remember though, you don't want to dump the barrel. As you're low, it's easy to get under, right, and dump the barrel behind you. The goal is to keep the upper half the same, come down through it. So just do a couple more, but try to stay more on plane. Try not to just dump everything, right? It's gonna be harder, right, because you're already starting in that preset position. But snap, there it is. See how his legs are finishing up? That back knee always wants to pry forward as that front knee locks out. So if there was no, friction on the ground here, both those legs would come together, or they would scissor behind him, hence the scissor move. Good. Next in the progression, we're doing the same thing as med ball. We're going half kneeling, drive leg's gonna be up. Juice is gonna go, load coil into that back side, stay stacked, and throw that back knee down, front knee locks out. Snap it harder. Come on now, don't drift. Nice. Same idea, right? If I were to put a stick by his head, go into the load, don't swing. I put a stick right here over the ball, his head ain't going past that because he's not relying on momentum to swing. There's too many factors. Like I said with the wheel and tire scenario, right? Also, the guy's up there throwing 95 miles an hour, so you don't want to cut off that distance. You're going to have no chance on the off speed. So sit back, sit pretty, turn behind the baseball, let it get there. You're not in no rush to get it. Turn behind it. Now finishing off, just normal swing. Go ahead and hit it, stay back, throw that back knee down, front knee locks out. There it is. That was piece to left. One more. So whatever way you need to think about that to get the process down, I was talking to the guy, Charlie Welch, that is in the video, right? That high pitch, he hit 111 miles an hour. One of the guys that we train in here, he always talks about how he's trying to sink to the pitch. And especially that amplifies with the off-speed pitch. A lot of guys get out on their front side if they're getting fooled But how guys like Charlie Welch can still get fooled and have success is rather than leaking forward, they just sink the body down, and then that barrel will get on plane automatically. So it's going to give you a lot more room for error, and it's going to create a ton of torque the right way. Hey, that's a wrap. Thanks for tuning in. Like I said before, I'm not trying to be some sort of hitting guru, but what I do know is how to create torque, and that's how those smaller athletes do it at the high level. You know, like our guy Charlie Welch, under 6 foot tall, can hit balls 120 plus. Guys like that are sinking to pitches, throwing that back knee down, locking that front knee out. So go ahead and hit those progressions in the med ball and then in your swing through drill work, and you're going to start to see the ball is going to start coming off louder and louder the more you do it. And always remember that I pump out 2 of these videos per week, so do me a favor and subscribe for me. I appreciate you. We'll catch you next week. Game rewards the grind. It knows how much you've invested.